Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the Home Weather Office on this Wednesday morning. It is the 28th day of February 2024. This is the morning briefing coming to you from the Home Weather Office. And as I look out the window, man, it's bright and sunny. It's a good-looking day. You wouldn't know that out there on the horizon is our biggest snowmaker of the season. And so what I'm going to do this morning is update you on some of the changes we've seen here in the last 24 hours in the models. Really not a lot of change for the High Sierra. One of the changes that we're seeing is the lower end. And as I've been looking at this over the last 24 to 48 hours, it's always that Saturday part and how low the snow might get and how much snow we might get, let's say in elevations below 4,000 feet. That's the tougher part of the forecast. It's almost the easy part of the forecast is the High Sierra, elevations above 5,000 and 6,000 feet, and just, getting to round numbers about, is it going to be 6 feet, 8 feet, that sort of thing. But when you start getting down to more heavily populated areas below 3,000 feet, is it going to be 2 inches? Is it going to be 8 inches? So that's the part we're still trying to sort out, but I'll show you the latest thinking on that. Let's go to the satellite. And as you can see, we have beautiful clear skies over California. Here's our weather maker up in here. A lot of cold air behind it. That's the signature you see here on the satellite. You get that kind of pattern. That is an indication of cold air. You notice how behind this, so if you call that a front, what it is, so you notice out ahead of it, you don't have that sort of dimpled pattern to the cloud cover. So that's that's an indication of cold air over the water. And we are still on the warm side, which means temperatures today will be up into the 60s once again, despite this cool start we have had. And this isn't an atmospheric river or anything like that. There are only modest amounts of moisture with it, but boy, we are certainly going to get some snow, but not a lot of rain. And I've been saying this over the last couple of days. I just really fear that some people may get caught off guard by this because we aren't going to see much rain in the valley. And here we're talking about, a big storm coming our way, but it's a big storm for the Sierra, not a big storm for the valley. This is on late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Go through the HRRR, show you the timing on this. So we start seeing a couple of showers in the area on Thursday morning. Snow levels will be up around 5,000 or 6,000 feet, something like that. And on Thursday morning, let me go up to about noontime. This is noontime. You'll have Thursday morning to travel through the Sierra. We may get into chain controls early in the afternoon, but chain controls, let's say on Interstate 80 from King Vale and on Highway 50 from Twin Bridges, not a big deal. But for the valley, we'll see occasional showers, nothing too heavy. We may see, a quarter to a third of an inch of rain, nothing to cause us any problems. And then the valley, the rain is going to be quite intermittent. There will, however, be rain in the valley for the evening commute, which is right here. I think the evening commute will probably have some rain, the wet road sort of thing, but we're not talking about ponding on roads or anything like that. And there will be chain controls in the Sierra, but it won't be too stormy just yet. And then as we go through the night and into early Friday morning, this is Friday at 4 a.m., now we're starting to see snow down to, say, about 4,500 feet, and it's snowing pretty good. And it's as we go through the day on Friday, I'll go to the NAM now, because that's as far out as the HRRR goes. As I go to the NAM, and you'll see that this is Thursday night. We get into the day Friday. You'll notice that the valley, like right here, we have just intermittent showers. This is Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. The snow level's still around 4,000 feet. I think after the sun goes down on Friday night is when we'll start to see snow get down to maybe 3,800 to 4,000. So for those of you in Pollock Pines and Arnold, you may get through much of the daylight hours on Friday without snow, but by Friday night and Saturday, it is going to snow. And so that's how we'll get those big differences between the snow at 6,000 feet that will be, more than 6 feet of snow, to down at 4,000 feet, we'll see 2 to 3 feet of snow. Still a really impactful snow. But once again, for the valley, we're going to have extended periods of dry weather in the valley, as you'll see in some of these rain totals I'll show you. And then this is probably some of the worst time we're going to see is the overnight of Friday and into Saturday morning. This is Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Again, the rain in the valley is pretty moderate, but with the colder air coming in and the jet still perfectly aligned with the Sierra, this is when we are going to see the Friday night to Saturday morning time frame, when we'll see the snow at 2 to 3 inches an hour. it's going to just be amazing how much snow falls in the 24 hours between Friday night and into Saturday. And that's when we may just see Interstate 80, Highway 50, Highway 88 just closed. Because it's snowing at 3 inches an hour, and it's snowing down to 4,000 feet. You have miles and miles of interstate that need to be cleared. You have whiteout conditions. It's just not going to be pleasant at all in the Sierra. And then this is, as far as this model goes, this is Saturday afternoon. I still think that by the time we get into Sunday, most of this will be done. There'll be some lingering snow showers, but Sunday in the valley is probably going to turn out to just be a cool and dry day. But in the Sierra, there'll be morning snow showers followed by clearing. So let me show you just how much rain we're talking about, how much water we're talking about, might be a better way to put it. And as we go through, you'll notice that much of the valley is rain shadowed because of the way the jet is going to be aligned. And you can see that many areas in the valley have less than a half an inch of rain. Sacramento pops out here at 1.5 inches, but that's just because you have that model may be a little bit overcooked. But Stockton, Modesto, Tracy, out of all of this, I mean, think about, we're talking about this big storm. And for those of you in Stanislaus County, Turlock and Modesto and Oakdale, you might see 1/4 inch of rain. You'll say, what was the big deal? Well, here's the big deal. Up on the west slope, we're talking about 7 to 8 inches of water. And of course, that'll be in terms of snow. So that's how we're talking about 6 to 8 feet of snow. With that in mind, let me talk a little bit about the snow. And what I'm going to show you here is the snow rates. So what I'm going to show you here is the snow per 6-hour period. And this is, let me go to Friday morning. Yeah, here we go. So this is Friday morning at 4 a.m. So at that time, we have seen, 10 to 12 inches of snow in the last 6 hours. So it's been coming down at, almost 2 inches an hour. And that rate continues into the daylight hours of Friday. This is Friday afternoon. So in the previous 6 hours, we've added another, 6 to 8 inches of snow. But once the sun goes down on Friday night and into Saturday, the snow rate goes up. So that by Saturday morning, the previous 6 hours have delivered 1 foot to 18 inches of snow. So that means you're getting 2 to 3 inches an hour over Friday night and into Saturday morning, and that continues Saturday morning. This is Saturday around midday, and again, the previous 6 hours have delivered another 2 feet of snow. So there are going to be time frames where the Sierra is seeing 2 feet of snow, well, let's say conservatively, 1.5 to 2 feet of snow every 6 hours. So you could just imagine how difficult that's going to be for Caltrans to keep up with. 18 inches of snow is a lot of snow to clear, and it happens every 6 hours. So that's why we're likely going to see significant impacts. So lake level, let's talk about areas like Tahoe, Truckee, Incline Village. We're talking 3, maybe 4 feet of snow. Huge, bigger than anything we've seen this year. Not unprecedented. We've seen this in previous years, but certainly a biggie. The ski resorts will likely be somewhere in the 8 to 9 foot range. They may push 100 inches of snow over the course of 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And now let's talk about the lower elevations. At 4,000 feet, for those of you, let's say in Pollock Pines and Arnold, we're probably looking at 2 to 3 feet of snow. And most of that will happen Friday night and into the day on Saturday. That's when most of it will happen. Because above that, Thursday, you'll get all rain. You might have rain during the day on Friday, and then it gradually changes over. And now for the lower elevations, let's say for those of you around 3,200 feet, it does look as though we will get snow there maybe overnight Friday and into Saturday, and then we'll see snow during the day Saturday. So for those of you, let's say in the Nevada City area, we could see 18 inches of snow there. I think there's going to be some significant snow in that 3,500 foot range. And again, it could be as much as 18 inches of snow. That's really, really tricky because we're going to be near the freezing level, and it'll be wetter snow than the powder we're looking at up top. And then farther down the hill, snow at 2,000 feet is looking less likely. And at 2,000 feet, it may be a dusting. And anything below that, like in a place like Auburn, snow is looking unlikely. There may be some flakes in the air, but I don't think it'll be shoveling in Auburn. So if you drive from Auburn to Grass Valley, you may drive into snow. And if you drive from Grass Valley to Nevada City, you may drive into a lot of snow. And on Highway 50, the difference between what you'll have in Placerville and what you'll have in Pollock Pines is going to be huge, with Camino being right in between. So I hope that gives that an idea. And I think you'd also see the same thing on Highway 88, what you'll see between Pine Grove and Pioneer, and especially Upper Pioneer. Upper Pioneer may be in that 3-foot range. So some of you are going to see a significant impact from this. And in terms of the Sierra, the high Sierra, there's also this blizzard warning the NWS put out. That's really for the high Sierra, because in order to have a blizzard, let me talk about that for a second. Because I know a lot of people's phones went off about having a blizzard warning for their area. A blizzard doesn't talk anything about snow amounts. The definition of a blizzard warning has to do with reduced visibility due to snow and blowing snow, sustained or gusty winds of 35 miles an hour, reducing visibility to a quarter mile or less for 3 hours or longer. That's the definition. That definition has nothing to do with how much snow you're going to see. We are not going to see those conditions in the foothills, where the blizzard warning technically goes into. So we're not going to see those conditions in the foothills. We will see those conditions above 5,000 feet, and that's why we'll likely see those roads closed. So if you're in an elevation around 2,000 or 2,500 feet and your app is telling you you're under a blizzard warning, it doesn't apply to you. It applies if you're trying to drive through the Sierra, which we strongly don't recommend. Friday, Saturday are going to be very difficult days to travel through the Sierra. Sunday might not be much better, even though the weather is going to clear up. It's going to take Caltrans quite a while to clear out that snow, and the snowbanks are going to be huge. So avoid traveling in the Sierra. I know you might want to go skiing, snowboarding, take advantage of the new snow. Wouldn't be surprised if the resorts are closed on Friday and Saturday anyway. So that's everything I've got for you this morning. Obviously, we've got a lot to get through over the next couple of days, but right now it's a bright and sunny day. Get out and enjoy it. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.